Toronto Raptors got their vibes back.
Winning is fun.
I got goosebumps watching that video. Congratulations to Darko Rajakovic, who gets his first official win as a head coach, and he has single-handedly restored the vibes on this team. You can tell Darko Rajakovic respects these players, and the players respect him. The Raptors got a big win over the Minnesota Timberwolves on opening night, and it was their defense that set the tone. We're going to talk about it in this one and what also stood out to me, but before we dive right into it, please do me a solid. Hit a like on the video, it helps it a ton, and please subscribe to the channel for more Raptors and NBA content just like this. The NBA is officially back, and I am excited for that. Both Barnes and Siakam did struggle from the field. The bench was a non-factor, but the Raptors still found a way to win this game. It wasn't pretty, but they get the job done. The Raptors relied on their defense in this one. The Raptors' defense was stifling. The Raptors limited the Timberwolves to 34% from the field and 25% from three. Anthony Edwards, who did get going early, finished with 26 points, but it took him 27 shots to do so. He was 8 of 27 from the field.
I have 3 words for you, OG Anunoby.
Per Krathika, according to NBA matchup stats, OG Anunoby held Wolves players to 3 of 19 from the field in 71.8 partial possessions last night. Anthony Edwards was held to 14 points on 5 of 22 shooting from the field after scoring 12 points on 5 shots in the first quarter. OG Anunoby is so valuable to this team. Oh, and by the way, if it wasn't for his offense early on in this game, it could have gotten out of hand for the Raptors, who did get off to a slow start. But you look at OG Anunoby, he did an excellent job finding his offense, which you love to see. OG Anunoby, he had 20 points in this one. He was 7 of 13 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, and he also had 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Leading the block party in this one was Scottie Barnes, who was great defensively as well. He had 5 block shots, and he made Karl Anthony Towns' life misery. As you look at Barnes, when he guarded Karl Anthony Towns, Towns was just 2 of 9 from the field. He clamped him up, and Barnes was dialed in on the defensive end, and he was especially good on defense in the fourth quarter. And the other day, Darko Rajakovic had high praise for Barnes and his defensive ceiling, saying, I think one day he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year. That's something he wants to be, that he wants to develop into, and I'm going to do everything in my power to help him on that path. Barnes had an off night shooting, but you can always count on his defensive efforts, and Barnes still managed to fill up the stat sheet as well, as Barnes did have 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and again, 5 blocked shots in this one. And Scottie Barnes, he believes this defense can be really good as well. This is what Barnes said on the defense, and I quote, "We should be top 5 with all of these guys with long ass arms." That's quite the quote. I wasn't worried about the Raptors defense coming into the season. The defense looks as advertised, and they should be one of the top defenses in the league. It's the offense that just needs to put it together and be a lot more consistent. The Raptors didn't shoot the ball particularly well from the field. They shot at 40% from deep, which you will take, but overall, the offense just needs to do a lot better and get off to better starts, especially early on. Now, what does look good with this offense is the ball movement. It continues to be solid. The Raptors did finish this game with 27 assists on 36 made field goals, and you talk about Barnes, what he was able to do. Even though he didn't shoot it well from the field, Siakam was able to hit the 3 ball, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and he was good defensively. So when they have off nights from shooting, they find other ways to impact the game. Surprisingly, leading the way on offense for the Raptors in this one was newest Raptor Dennis Schroder. He led all Raptors scorers with 22 points. He had 7 assists and 3 rebounds. And I mean, who had Dennis Schroder leading the Raptors in scoring on opening night on their bingo card? I certainly didn't. And it was really good to see Schroder go 8 of 17 from the field and hit 4 of 8 of his threes. Who said Dennis Schroder can't hit the 3 ball? Dennis Schroder seems like such a great fit with the Raptors. I mean, he's a true traditional point guard that seems to gel very well with this personnel. And when was the last time the Raptors had a point guard with his quickness. The Raptors look completely different with Dennis Schroder and his speed. Speed kills, and watching Dennis Schroder being able to blow past defenders and get to the rim was refreshing to see. And he got his teammates involved as well. He had 7 assists. And I mean, if he can provide the consistent offense like he did on opening night, the Raptors have a real steal in Schroder. Look, I don't want to overreact to one game, but I've been very high on Schroder, and I feel good about this take I made in the offseason. The Raptors don't get desperate and overpay for Fred VanVleet, and instead they bring in Schroder on a much cheaper 2-year, $26 million deal who will still provide a lot of value. I think this will end up being a genius move from the Raptors when it's all said and done. And Dennis Schroder, he seems happy to be here. You can tell he's vibing well with his teammates, and he really likes Toronto. I think Dennis Schroder could potentially have a breakout season, especially on offense, if he continues to thrive as well as he has with the Raptors. And again, if those threes continue to fall for Dennis, that is great news for Toronto. Now, some closing thoughts that I have about this game is that the bench did struggle. I thought the bench looked very promising in the preseason, and I'm not going to overreact to one poor outing from the bench, but Gary Trent Jr. didn't shoot the ball well. Malachi Flynn struggled. McDaniels had a goose egg. Achua, I thought, was good early on with OG. He provided a spark when the Raptors offense needed it, and I think Achua is going to have a nice season on both ends. But the biggest surprise when it came to the bench was the 10th and final rotation guy. It ended up being Grady Dick, who only played in 2 minutes, but Chris Boucher, who I had as a guaranteed rotation player, did not play in this game. And apparently he was, the ultimate professional about it. Rajakovic told him prior to the game that he wouldn't play. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Boucher moving forward. Obviously, Boucher has been a staple of the second unit, high energy guy, able to hit threes, uses his length. But we'll see what Chris Boucher's involvement is with this rotation, or if he could potentially be a guy on the trading block when we get to that time. But overall, the Raptors begin their season with a win. Again, it wasn't pretty, a lot to clean up. Offense has to look a lot better. You want to limit the turnovers, some of the sloppiness, the mistakes. But listen, they get the win. They started off 1-0. And I think it's very, very imperative that the Raptors get off to a solid start to begin their season. And I think they'll have a chance to. They're going to be taking on a dysfunctional Bulls team on Friday. They got Nick Nurse and the Sixers on Saturday. Then they got the Blazers on Monday. Those are all very winnable games. So the Raptors, let's see if they could get off to a good start. But they start off their season with a win. What were your major takeaways from this game? How are you feeling about this team? Where is your optimism level at when it comes to the Raptors? Let me know your full thoughts down below. Hit a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Plus ring the bell for more. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next video.